How's it going, everybody? My name is Brandon Johnson, and today we're going to talk about overcoming doubt, and specifically, how does overcoming doubt lead you to achieving your dreams? So let's get started. The first thing we want to talk about today is, what is doubt? Where does it come from, and how do we recognize it when it happens? We can't move past it until we understand what it is. So in its simplest terms, doubt is a feeling of uncertainty. It's not knowing what you don't know. If you're going to put yourself out there and you don't know the consequences, you don't know the tools or the skills you need to be successful, doubt is a huge barrier to success and to achieving dreams. And most of it stems from uncertainty. The second part is it's a true lack of conviction. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, but if we have enough conviction about something, we don't necessarily need to know. Think about anybody who's ever achieved anything great. Do they actually know how they're going to get there, or what it's going to take of them, or what the process is going to be? Not necessarily, but what they do know is that it's important to them and they have enough conviction inside of them to make it happen. So even with the uncertainty, if we have conviction, we can make things happen. But doubt comes from maybe that lack of conviction. So we want to talk about what to do with that today. And what it really does is it creates these thoughts in our head that are negative that really hinder our progress towards a goal. So whether it's a weight loss goal, a business goal, a family or relationship oriented goal, if you have these thoughts of uncertainty, these thoughts of lack of conviction, then you typically start to run through these negative scenarios in your heads of what ifs. And it's really funny that we use our imagination that way, because it's just as easy to imagine positive what ifs. And I really like to reframe that of, what if this worked? What if everything came to play out like it was supposed to, versus what if all these things happened, or it didn't work out, or, I fell down in front of a bunch of people and made an idiot out of myself. Of course, there are what ifs, but it's the thoughts that are associated with those what ifs that really tie to whether we're going to make progress towards our goal and our dreams, or if we're going to allow them to become self-doubt and get in our way. And finally, self-doubt really is, doubt in general is the number one reason why people don't accomplish their dreams. They don't know, they don't have enough conviction, they're unsure, so they never start, right? One of my favorite quotes comes from Martin Luther King. He says, "You don't need to see the entire staircase, just take the first step." And if you take that analogy and really apply it to like driving a car at night, you don't necessarily, if you're driving from, let's say, LA to New York City, you don't necessarily need to see the entire road. Even in daylight, you can't see the entire road. But at night, you can only see 100, 200 feet ahead of you. And as long as you know that after that 100 feet, the next 100 feet will unravel and you'll be able to see it, that's really what we're talking about with doubt and uncertainty, is just being able to see enough to get started. And if you can see enough in yourself, if you can have enough conviction, even with those uncertainties, then you can make progress and start to build on those dreams, small increments at a time, okay? So that's all great and grand, but where do these thoughts come from? Why do we even start to doubt ourselves? Why do we become so negative in our own abilities and our own self-confidence? Well, it comes from a few different places. Most self-doubt comes from some sort of experience, either a firsthand experience where you stuck your neck out and you got embarrassed because you were maybe giving a speech in front of a class and you stumbled and some people made fun of you in middle school. So from that point on, you said, "I'm not a good public speaker." And you just kind of associated with that and you had these thoughts. So now you doubt yourself anytime you get in front of a room. Or if you've tried a diet and your goal is to lose weight and you've tried it and it didn't work, and you got down on yourself and you actually ended up maybe putting on a few pounds extra after the fact, those experiences really start to cultivate this self-doubt because you're proving to yourself that this doesn't work for you. The other experience, though, that I don't think we give enough credit to or talk enough about is the things that were absorbed, that we don't necessarily experience firsthand, but those things that we learn from either things that people have told us, like money doesn't grow on trees, right? So now you have this cognitive block that money is hard to come by, or that people who got money are evil and did so by cheating other people. You start to create these ideas and these self-fulfilling prophecies. And what you do then is you doubt yourself, or you create barriers for yourself that limit you from going and even working on your goals, much less achieving them. So what we want to do is get all of this stuff out of the way and recognize them so that we can start to work through it and start to tell yourself, yeah, you know what? That really isn't true. That doesn't make sense. Now I can move forward and I can do something with it. Okay? The second one, and this is one that I fall to all the time, is comparison to others. I'm always looking at people in my world of consulting and professional and personal development and looking at them and being like, man, I don't have those skills. I don't have those tools. I don't have those resources. I'm looking at people, I'm looking at Tony Robbins. I'm looking at Brendon Burchard. I'm looking at any of these big business consultants or personal development consultants and going, God, I just don't have the 1 million followers or the 100 millions of views on YouTube that they have. Well, duh, they've been doing it for 20 years and I'm just slowly getting started. So whenever you start comparing yourself to the Instagram channels of these people who look fit, think about what they're doing. Think about the thoughts that they have with themselves. Do they doubt themselves and their physical abilities or their business capabilities or their relationship capabilities? No, they have some kind of conviction in themselves and they've decided that this is who they are and what they're going to accomplish. And they've done the small incremental things to get there, and it takes time, but they took the first steps. And that's what we want to work through as we're talking about this today with you. So please, 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 and I know I'm preaching to the choir and I need to eat my own dog food, as we say in my industry, is stop comparing yourself to other people, okay? And finally, again, that uncertainty, the unknowing. You don't know what's going to happen. So as humans, we have this tendency to self-protect, right? It goes back to whenever we were living in caves, our entire cognitive system was set up for survival. So we avoided the unknown because we didn't know if you went around that bend or chased that animal, could it kill you? Could it hurt you? So you created systems and put things in place that you knew would save you. Now, those systems are the same, but we don't have the same threats in our life that we used to. So this thought of unknowing, you do not have the risk. Let me say this again very clearly. You do not have the same risk that you think you have. If you fall and fail and get a little embarrassed, honestly, nobody cares. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's looking at you. People are so self-absorbed that you can really just dust yourself off and go again, and nobody will be the wiser. So please don't get hung up in what's unknown. So all this is said, and what's the point? Who cares? Okay, I have a little self-doubt. I'm not working on my dreams, but my life's pretty plush. I'm pretty comfortable. What's it really costing me if I'm just complacent and living my life? Well, the first one is money. Lots and lots of dollars. So I don't really have a number. I think when I first built this slide, I said it was $1 million. And I was like, for some people, it might be even more than that. Think about it. Everybody on this planet strives to have some sort of financial and wealth gain, right? Maybe not everybody, but a lot of us. And if you have self-doubt in your career or in your own abilities, in your own possibilities, you are not going to make as much money over the term of your life as you would if you had ridiculous, unrelenting, I would even call it blind confidence in yourself. Think about some of the people that you know. There are people that I know who are half as smart, half as privileged, don't know the skills, that are very, very successful because of their confidence in themselves and their abilities. Even if they don't have any abilities, or their confidence is off the spectrum and they make things happen because of it. So it's costing you dollars, literally. I don't know how much that is for you, but I personally know that my self-doubt, my lack of confidence in myself has lost me jobs and promotions and opportunities that I bet have costed me $100,000 at this point in my life. Easy $100,000. So be aware of that, okay? And if money's not your motivation, that's fine. What about indecisiveness? Does indecisiveness run your life? It's a huge cost to be indecisive. It actually causes anxiety and stress. It builds on itself when you're indecisive. You ever been to a Mexican restaurant and they got like 90 pages of items? I panic. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to eat? Because it all looks so good. I don't know what to do with it, right? So that self-doubt, that lack of confidence, especially towards your dreams and goals and making a decision, indecisiveness is a huge cost. So as we're going through this, I'm going to give you some tools and tricks here at the end of what to do about it. But just being a little more decisive will help immensely in that achievement of your goal and your dreams. And once you start to do that, you start to build self-confidence, right? If it's a fitness goal and your goal literally is just to lose a few pounds, or we're going to talk about a little bit of goals later, it really shouldn't be attached to the outcome, but more the process. But let's say your goal is just to walk a mile. If you get that first mile walked, that is a huge confidence builder. You did it, you should celebrate it. Now, I know we have some stipulations in our culture where walking a mile or being proud of your own accomplishments is kind of frowned upon. I'm here to say hype yourself up. Get yourself a hype man. We're going to talk about Flava Flav. Some of you kids don't know who Flava Flav is, and I'm sorry. Maybe the better example is DJ Khaled. All he walks around and saying, "We the best." That's what you need in your life. You need a hype man. You need to be your own hype man. Know that you're the best. And if you're not the best, then know that you're working on becoming the best that you can work. So that self-confidence piece is a cost. Self-trust. You start to doubt yourself. You start to doubt your abilities, your capabilities, your capacity, your knowledge, your insight, your relationship capabilities. It is a huge disservice to lose trust in yourself as you doubt yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to overcome that. And what this all comes down to at the bottom line is happiness. The more self-doubt you have, the least amount of happiness typically you have in your own life. Let me say that in probably a different way. If you are very doubtful in yourself, doubtful in your life, doubtful in who you are or who you are becoming, you're typically unfulfilled. Would you agree with that? I would agree with that. So happiness is a huge thing and probably the biggest thing. And we can say like money and all these other things lead to happiness, but really at the end of the day, we don't want money. We just want the things money will buy us so that we'll be happy. All of this comes down to happiness. And if you are not happy, take a look. And if you are doubting yourself, maybe that's a part of it. Maybe you need to reconnect with yourself and what your goals and your dreams are and reconnect with why you are chasing those goals and dreams and find the happiness and the joy in that. So now that we've said that, what are you going to do about it? How do we take these practices and move them forward? So the first thing we want to do is actually start to create empowering thoughts. You've had these experiences either firsthand or you've absorbed them from somebody else, and you've told yourself like, I cannot lose the weight because of my history or my past or my genetics. I cannot become rich because of my history or my past or my genetics or my social situation. Or I cannot start that business because I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough skills. I cannot take on those coaching clients. This is one of mine because I'm too young. I haven't been an executive, so I can't coach executives. It's all crap. Yes, you can. You just have to get started. So it's rewiring those thoughts and those beliefs to make that happen. So first and foremost is remember your dreams and your why. Why do you want this dream to happen? Why do you want it to occur? Why do you want to chase it? Why do you want to accomplish it? Write it down somewhere and put it in front of you and reaffirm it to yourself every day. These are my dreams and this is why I am chasing them. Be very specific on what those are. If it's a weight loss goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal, whatever it is, write it out in a way as if it's already happened, and every day feel the emotions of it. Those emotions literally start to rewire your brain so that you become more empowered to take action on them. Again, you don't need to know how it's going to happen. You just need enough confidence to see the next step. And that next step will, whenever you stand on it, will enlighten the next step and the next step and so forth. And eventually the road will unfold and you'll end up in your destination. The second one is tell yourself better stories. A lot of this self-doubt comes from these stories that we tell ourselves of I'm not good enough or I'm not, I don't have what it takes. You're usually in your head about something specific, an experience you had, and you're replaying it. And what's really funny about these stories that we tell in these recall of memories, especially if it's a firsthand experience, is science is actually showing us now that firsthand experiences, typically, whenever we recall them and regurgitate them to ourselves, are not nearly as accurate as we thought they were. So we're actually lying to ourselves about what happened. So since you're already lying to yourself anyway, lie to yourself something more positive, more beneficial, more empowering to get you moving. And that's part of that first one of writing your dreams out. Write out a new story for yourself and start telling yourself this. I have the experiences I need to make this happen. I've lived enough life or done enough things to set myself up for success in the near future. You want to play that out and start to recirculate those in your mind until you actually believe it and have enough confidence to take those first couple steps. Once you start to do that, you can start to reconnect with a new identity. Here's the hang up. When I usually coaching or talking to people who are trying to get to another goal or change their life, they have this statement of, I'm fat. I am. It usually starts with I am. I am too young to be a consultant. I am not smart enough to start my own business. I'm not able. I am. And it becomes this identity of who you are. No, that's not who you are. Your skill set right now may be that you cannot go out and start a business. That's fair, but that's not who you are. Who you are is a whole mess of other things. It's not your experiences even. It's how you take those experiences and learn from them and grow from them and implement things on a daily basis. That's who you really are. So create a new identity. If you want to become a runner, I am a runner, tell yourself that. And you'll start to realize if that's the case, if I am an entrepreneur, I'm going to start doing the things that entrepreneurs do and re-identify with a more empowering vision for yourself. Focus on the future instead of the past. This one comes back to your experiences. If you're dwelling in those thoughts, it's pretty simple. Get out of that. Focus on a future you want, something that makes you excited, something that makes you happy, something that'll move you to action. That is where your focus needs to be. And then find the truth. And when I talk about truth, notice it's all at caps. As you're telling yourself these stories, are they actually true? Think about that for a second. If you're telling yourself that you're not capable or that you're not old enough, look around you. Are there people that are younger than you that are being successful in what you're doing? Are there people in worse situations that have done what you're trying to accomplish? So it's not because of the lie you're telling yourself, it's something else. Find the truth in what really is possible and tell yourself, okay, this is actually what is true. Right now in my current situation, I don't have the skills. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get online, I'm going to find an entrepreneur workshop, and I'm going to go through it and I'm going to learn the skills so that I can actually go and move forward on whatever my goal or my dream is. Obviously just an example, but most of the time, the things you're telling yourself are not truth. They're just things that you've decided are true about you when they're actually not. So try to let go of some of those. Just be aware of them is a start. And I love this one. No one knows you. Even better, no one cares. Obviously, some people care about you. Some people love you. But if you're putting out a video like this, you know how many people are actually going to see this video? Maybe 2. Most people don't know you, they don't recognize you, they don't see you. So don't worry about it. You have nothing to lose by putting yourself out there. The first time you go to the gym, if you're uncomfortable, and I hate the gym, let me tell you firsthand, I hate going to the gym and watching dudes flex in front of the mirror and take 30 minutes on a machine that I can spend 10 minutes on and get off. Get the hell out of the way, right? But if that's you, if that's your hang up, nobody knows you. Even if they are judging you, they don't know who you are. Forget them. Right? All these judgments are coming from yourself. Let's get past that. Empower yourself. Think about the goals. The second part of this that I want to talk to you about is consider your relationships. We're told all the time that we're most like the 5 people we spend the majority of our time with. So right now, think about the 5 people you spend the majority of your time with. Are those relationships positive and empowering? Will those people help you obtain your goals? If you have a business goal or a weight loss goal or a relationship goal, and you're hanging out with people that are keeping you out because you're out partying all the time, or eating unhealthy, or being disrespectful to others, are they going to lead you to the goal or the success that you're looking for? I don't know. It might be time to question some of those relationships and start to take some people out of it. So whenever you're around the people you spend most time with, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? Does it empower you to take action, or do you actually become lethargic and sad and want to just sit down and not do anything? That's a telltale sign. Find better people. Get yourself a hype man like DJ Khaled. We the best. If you can't do it yourself, find someone that'll do it for you. Okay? How do we act when we're together? That's what I was saying. If you have an entrepreneurship goal and you're spending your weekends out boozing and going to the club and spending money instead of saving money to build your business and working on the weekends and you're hungover instead, those people are not supporting your goals. You might have a good time with them. They might be fun. You might love them. But at some point, you might need to distance yourself a little bit and find some other people that are working on their business and weekends on mastermind groups and spend the time with those people a little bit more, right? Do they build you up or do they tear you down? Whenever you express your goals and your dreams, do they come to you and say, yeah, that's a great idea. Let me help you with that. What support can I give you? I know this guy or this gal who can help you with that. Those are the people you want in your corner. Get more of those people. All right. And if you don't have any of those people, then maybe this channel can help you a little bit. And if not, then ping me and we'll help find you some people. Right? But it's until you start to empower yourself to make those decisions and start to talk to people about your goals and dreams, those people will not just show up. You have to do the work to go out and find them. Okay? And then finally is set yourself up for success. What does that look like? Focus on what you can control. The current situation with COVID-19, there's a lot of things that are beyond your control right now. But what can you control? No, you can't just go out and start your restaurant right now if that's your goal. But you know what you can do? You can start to do the research and put together your financials and your business plan and talk to other entrepreneurs and other business people and see what they did and start to really create your strategy and your thoughts and your systems and your processes and put all that into place. There's no such thing as a bad time. What was really the problem is you just need to get out of your own way. If it's a fitness goal, you can't go to the gym. Guess what? There's probably a playground or a park or even just a backyard somewhere where you can go out and do, man, everybody online right now is doing workouts. Check out Yoga with Adriene. I know like 6 people that are following Adriene online. Shout out to Yoga with Adriene on my YouTube channel. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything. So focus on what's in your control. Don't worry about the other things because there's brilliance in whenever you start moving and focusing on what you can control, other things fall into play. Remove physical barriers. This has been a huge aha moment for me. Using the gym as an example, I hate going to the gym and watching a bunch of meatheads look at themselves and be proud of themselves. Especially in my neighborhood, there's a whole bunch of them. So we brought the gym home. We went and bought some weights. We went and bought some resistance bands. And now I'm more likely in between conference calls or working to get up and do 10 or 15 push-ups or some curls or some squats or whatever than I am after work to go to the gym for an hour. I just know that about me. It's not going to work. If it's food is the problem, it's so much easier to order out. Well, there's a ton of delivery systems now through Freshly or whoever that will deliver better food for you, and you can cook and prep. Another thing of mine is I hate going to the grocery store. Maybe I just hate being out in public. Anyways, set yourself up. Physical barriers, systems, processes. If you know something doesn't work for you, find an alternative, okay? Start by changing small bad habits. They don't have to be big things, little things at a time. Start by, instead of ordering, the extra dessert after dinner or eating a bunch of chocolates during the day or, being a little bit lazy on the weekends and watching TV or drinking with your friends. What if before you did that, you said, before I can go out with my friends, I've got to either cut a video like this or go to the gym or work on one of my goals. Small things. Don't do it big. Don't beat yourself up with. Don't say I've got to work out an hour every day for 5 days a week. It's not realistic. Start with an hour a week and figure that out. Start with 20 minutes a couple days a week and figure that out. Baby steps. Work yourself into it. Fall in love with the process. The outcomes happen naturally. Okay? Do what you should is one of my favorite concepts. This is where a lot of self-doubt and anxiety especially comes from, is we have all these things that weigh down on us. We know we should We should do the dishes. We should clean the car. We should vacuum the house. We should call our mom. We should go to the gym. We should go to the grocery store. We should go and get stamps. We should all over ourselves. And eventually these things build up, and you just have this anxiety and you doubt yourself to be able to do any of it. Start to knock some of those little things off your list. Get up in the morning, make the bed, brush your teeth, take your shower, do your push-ups, sit in meditation, do a few things that you should, handle your chores, get that stuff out of the way. I was literally 15 minutes before this, cutting this video, about to take a nap, and I realized I have so much anxiety right now and self-doubt about putting these videos out there that I didn't even want to get started. But if you do what you should, you feel so much better. So just take that first step, okay? And secondly, worry about yourself. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about how your neighbor or the person you see on YouTube are doing these things differently. Everybody's got their own process, their own systems, their own likes, their own dislikes. Focus on you, what you want to accomplish, and how it's going to work for you. Cool? So with that, I want to leave you with this. Our doubts are traitors, and they make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Our doubts are those things that get in our way to even get started. Do not be a victim of your doubts. You are bigger than them. They are not true. They are just you in your head talking yourself down whenever you are more than capable. You will have the potential and the possibilities are there. And if you need help, let me know. We'll see you next time.